Do you know anything about this campus movement, Cornell on Fire?
Oh, yes. Climate radicals.
I mean, unbelievable. What is it that they want? We've already done that divestment moratorium thingy.
It's totally trumped up, but they're literally arguing that there's a carbon emission budget, and then there's math, and then when you do those things together, we're not doing enough.
What more can we do? We switch from coal to gas. Everyone applauds our lake source cooling system. We've got pioneering earth source heat borehole project, whatever that is, might not work.
Probably not.
But we've put up some solar panels. We're churning out climate research.
Oh, we are the Green Ivy in Princeton Review's guide.
Well, and Cornell has platinum stars, after all, ratings 4 years running.
Right. You can't argue with rankings.
Well, to my mind, the rankings are clear. Daffodils! Look, daffodils!
Oh,
Early for them.
very early.
So, as I hear it, Cornell on Fire is going around saying that Cornell is not meeting its climate action plan. It's ridiculous.
It's nonsense.
Here, I want to show you something. They point out that Cornell's current emissions trajectory puts us on track for a catastrophic world that's 3 or 4 degrees hotter by 2100, and we need to have our emissions by 2030? Well, if you've read this, they keep parroting the UN Secretary General, and who reports with obscure acronyms like IPCC, hold on, UNEP, Oxfam. They say the math shows that Cornell will need to do unbelievable things to get international climate goals met, like fly less, stop building new buildings, accept limits to energy demands. And here's the real kicker: mobilize the endowment for the energy transition.
Wow, so naive. I mean, really, are other colleges going to do any of this? Do they want us to be first? Think of the risk.
I can't follow their logic.
Yeah, nice idea. Climate leadership won't keep our place in the rankings.
Yes, but if you read what they say, they argue that it will actually enhance our public prestige and serve the greater good.
Oh, the greater good. They're not enhancing our prestige with their investigative reports. Rude!
I think they might cause us trouble. We should hear them out.
Really? Well, why?
Yes, we should. They might otherwise go to the press. So let them be heard.
Oh, okay.
Look, I've got to go to Albany. So can you set this meeting up in Day Hall for next Tuesday?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you better keep an eye on that storm that's coming.
Well,
it's a doozy.
Well, I've got my own private jet. It can go through anything. Well, it's good to see you again. So,
yes. See you next Tuesday.
Cornell!
Oh, yes, Cornell on Fire. Please come in. Please come in. Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you for seeing us. Some others have joined us by the Zoom. So we're just ready to listen. We're all ears. You got a couple of minutes, and then we do have to move on to other things.
We're asking Cornell to publicly commit to halving carbon emissions by 2030.
Oh, that sounds like a really nice vision.
oh yes. I love your passion. Very admirable.
This might be a little awkward, but I don't think you understand the complexity of the situation.
If I may, I really appreciate the complexity of climate change. We understand it, but you must understand that throughout Cornell, we have so many stakeholders. We have administrators, donors, and we must make all of them so happy.
Yes, but every single one of your stakeholders lives here on Earth.
Every single one of them is vitally dependent on a habitable planet.
Well, it's not quite relevant. Yes, we all live on Earth, but some of us need to maintain our rankings.
Let me share how difficult it is and complex on our decision-making processes at Cornell.
Okay.
One moment. Well, there's college rankings.
Rankings.
Yes. Managing the endowment, donor relations. Do you know what it takes to keep at the top of the rankings amongst universities? We have to fight tooth and nail to keep our prestige. This requires entire departments of brand management and public relations offices.
Yes, but is not the climate making clear exactly what is at stake here?
I don't think you're getting it. Really, what would it look like if one of our competitor institutions built a new business school and we didn't? What would that look like?
Well, actually, your business school is quite new.
It's fairly new.
That's not my point. Let's not get hung up on specifics. Let me get you a good example. Yes, our peer institutions have great athletic facilities. We are building a $55 million field house with artificial turf to stay competitive.
Yes, well, of course, these are the trade-offs. Sure, but
Yes, artificial turf is so toxic and so wasteful that it is banned in many places.
Yes. We're also quite surprised that you're naming the field house after an oil baron.
I know.
So I guess it's being built with fossil fuel money.
no. Some oil barons are very nice people. I play golf with some of them. Besides, what do you know about oil barons?
This is not about oil barons' personalities.
This is about lending legitimacy to an extractive industry. An industry that is stealing life to make profits and which has also obfuscated the climate science for decades.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about the science.
Yes, the science. And you talk about a habitable planet.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Look, personally, I agree with you. A habitable planet is nice, but professionally, it just doesn't add up. It's not good business sense.
Well,
Yes.
when my personal and professional positions diverge, I usually like to conclude that there is an ethical problem.
I would add that the Earth doesn't care about your personal versus your professional opinion.
It's very earnest of you to think of the Earth. Yes. But I think it's all just so complex for you to understand. Professionals have a lot of important, very important things that we must consider. We can't afford to think about the planet's habitability for 20 or 80 years from now. We have our quarterly financials to consider.
You must understand that a habitable planet is only a small piece of the puzzle.
Well, have you considered how you'll operate a profitable corporation in 2100 when the Earth hits 4 degrees Celsius warming?
Catastrophic?
Oh, you mean that science?
Oh, science.
Yes, well, we give money to faculty to do that work. Why don't you talk to the Atkinson Center?
Yes. We have spoken to many of the Atkinson faculty fellows, and they are very concerned about Cornell's lack of progress to carbon neutrality, coupled with your lack of transparency about that fact.
If we spend money trying to address climate change, we won't have any money for financial aid.
No, that's financially.
Oh, believe me. If the world fails to meet its climate goals, your students will have much bigger problems than financial aid.
This is all quite pleasant, I'm sure, but we're out of time. To wrap it up, we have many diverse priorities. Climate change is one of them, but we do need to maintain our high-class, competitive, super rich university first and foremost.
Okay, let me get this straight. So, Cornell's leadership is not committed to a 1.5 or 2 degree pathway, yet, given the trade-offs, you find it more reasonable to commit to a 3 or 4 degree pathway.
Catastrophic?
Is that an accurate statement of your representation?
This feels urgent. Is it accurate to state that Cornell leadership is more committed to the disastrous status quo than they are to international climate goals for a habitable planet? Will you stand on the right side of history?